Welcome back. There are no shortage of big issues impacting South Floridians this summer, whether it's hurricane preparedness, local politics, or even the Trayvon Martin case. Here to talk about those issues and more is Doug Lyons, editorial columnist for the Sun-Sentinel. Doug, my friend, always a pleasure.
It's good to be back.
It's nice to have you. All right, so the NBA season is over. So finally, South Floridians can talk about something else. And there is a lot to talk about this summer, but we're going to start with something that is, it's certainly not a feel-good story, it's certainly not a happy story, but it's obviously a very important one. And that's the Trayvon Martin case, the George Zimmerman case, if you will.
Right.
Jury selection was an arduous process. Where do you see this heading over this summer?
Well, it's going to be, it's a very closely watched case, and it's a case involving a very sensitive wedge issue when you talk about race and you're talking about guns. The trial will be scrutinized. I'm sure the attorneys for George Zimmerman will try to sneak in, and I'm sorry, sneak in may not be the right word, but they will try to again introduce pictures and other illustrations from Trayvon's past to kind of discredit him in the eyes of the jurors. So far, the judge has kept that out. Cell phone pictures showing him with
smoking and then holding a gun.
Yeah. The judges, and I think rightfully the judges kept that out from the jury. And if the attorneys for Zimmerman bring it back up, I think the judge will stand his ground. No pun intended.
Right, but let me ask you this. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. But if part of Zimmerman's defense is that he felt that he was being attacked and he was defending himself, wouldn't a picture of Trayvon Martin holding a gun, wouldn't that be relevant in the eyes of the jurors and the jury?
I would think. Well, I don't know.
It's a tough question.
It is a very tough question, and it's easy for me as a pundit to sit back and say, "Oh, it shouldn't be introduced." But it is a tough question. I would lean towards the onus being on the attorneys to find some other way than to introduce a picture of Trayvon. Right. Because, the bottom line is Trayvon ended up dead. Now, whether he did badly in school or, one time smoking or had a picture of himself and a gun, that really is immaterial to what happened on that night.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the pictures, and we'll see how it turns out. Let's talk politics for a minute. A new Quinnipiac poll just came out recently, and essentially it was for the governor's race for 2014, and it said that according to Florida voters, as of now, Charlie Crist, who hasn't even said he's running, would beat Rick Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Crist, Republican, Independent, Democrat, you pick it, he's been it, right?
Yeah.
Does this say more about Charlie Crist or more about Rick Scott?
Well, actually, I think it says a little bit more about Rick Scott. In a very strange way, Rick Scott had a good week. I mean, his poll numbers are actually going up. I mean, he was in the hole 16 points before, and now he's only in the hole by 10 points. It's almost like one of those NBA games when the home team is down and suddenly you look up, they've managed to close the gap.
Yeah. He took off his shoe and he made a three-pointer.
Something like that.
That's basically what happened.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But
that was a Heat reference if you're not aware.
Right. But let's be real. The governor still is in the hole. His numbers are underwater as far as approval ratings and popularity. Charlie Crist has a double-digit lead, but it's 2013 and the election's in 2014. So the governor has one thing going for him. He's got a lot of money and is expected to raise a lot of money to wage a campaign. So and he'll have the support of the Republican Party behind him. I think it's still going to be a tight race.
So let's get a prediction from you. I know we're a ways away. Who's the next governor of Florida? Putting you on the spot.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, man. No hemming and hawing.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to go out on a limb here, even though I mean, how can I answer that question? I mean, there's no the one person who's actually running against Rick Scott is losing in the polls. I mean, poor Nan Rich, she's the tried and true Democrat, and
she's not going to win.
She's out there. She's not going.
She's not going to win.
I love Nan to death, but Nan, you're in an uphill struggle.
Okay, so no more stalling, because I know you're trying to stall. I see what you're doing. Who's the next governor?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Chris and a squeaker.
Chris and a squeaker, going back to the mansion. Okay, we're going to hold you to that. And I'm going to call Chris and Rick Scott after this and tell them that you said that.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm done.
We're all crossing our fingers. Hurricane season is here, and it's scary. And all of us who have lived here for a while know how terrible it can be. So what would you say, as a guy that's been in South Florida for a while, what's the most important issue, or a couple of the most important issues that South Floridians really need to think about as we consider a potential hurricane?
I would have to say the most important issue is you got to be prepared. I mean, I'm sorry. I was one of these guys, and to a degree, I guess I still am. I was one of these guys who thought that hurricane season really didn't start until mid-August.
Right? Yeah.
Right in the height of the summer when it's really hot. But after looking at the weather patterns lately, I mean, we've already had a tropical storm. In fact, I think we've had a tropical storm already. There's been a
couple of
depressions.
Yeah.
So the season can start early. Yeah. So I mean, I would encourage everybody to think seriously and treat this seriously, because I mean, store up on your batteries, get some extra water. I mean, you may not have to go rush out and get the generator just yet, but I think people need to take this seriously. We have managed to escape, in the last few years. We haven't had any problems.
Right.
But who knows?
Yeah.
This might be the year, and I hope not, but you never know.
And you could probably speak to this more articulately than I can, but I know that a lot of homeowners end up having questions about their insurance when these things happen. So I guess perhaps another bit of advice would be to take a look now at your policy and check it out.
Yeah, and particularly take a look at your companies. I mean, there have been stories in the news about these private firms that have come in to take the weight off of citizens, but some of them may not be as financially strong to actually pay if there's actually any damage. And so it would behoove every resident to kind of check their policies and see where they are and what what their deductibles are, and just to take a closer look at the companies who are insuring them.
Well, hopefully we won't have to worry about it this summer, right?
Hopefully.
Knock on wood. Last thing.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll still have a football team playing at Sun Life Stadium in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Hopefully. Now, Stephen Ross has said he will not move the Dolphins under his watch.
Right.
He won't be running the team forever. So there's a last question, and it's a two-part question. One, do you think at some point we will get renovations for Sun Life Stadium, whether it be next year or the year after or whatever? And part two is, if not, could the Dolphins be playing football in anywhere, San Jose, anywhere else? I don't know. Or do you think we'll always have the Dolphins here?
Well, Los Angeles has always been looking for a football team since the
Raiders
Rams.
3 times.
Was it the Raiders or the Rams?
They both have
they both
left. Right.
But I think the Dolphins will be here a while. But your first question about will the stadium get renovation?
Because the voters didn't even get a chance to really say anything about it.
Well, the voters, and quiet as kept, the voters, according to the polls, weren't in favor of using, the locals in Miami-Dade County weren't in favor of using tax monies to help Steve Ross out. It's going to be a tough campaign, and I think it will not get any easier in Tallahassee. The Senate president was kind of favorable to the idea of letting the locals make up their own mind, but the House Speaker said no. And I don't see that changing.
So I guess the moral of the story is it's all the Marlins' fault.
Yeah.
Right. That stadium deal ruined it for everybody
That'll
else.
work, yeah. Not only for the Dolphins, there are a bunch of other sports teams that are probably going like this. Dang, Marlins.
Yeah, the Marlins. Everybody loves the Marlins.
Yeah.
Good to have you, man.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. You're going to come back, right?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Sure.
Good. You're so casual, too. Hand in a pocket.
This is casual Wednesday. What can I say?
All right, Doug. Good to see you, bud.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, Doug. When we come back, the latest in MRI technology. It's a great way to get a checkup that's way more in-depth than a physical. Keep it here.